Darc and Moody, Moody and Darc. It's been real from the start. Speak the truth, then you playing your part. Nothing fake here. We've been real since daycare. Some change, some stay there. Came from the streets, we speak for the streets, we speak for the youth. Nothing but truth. Feel it in the booth, feel it in your soul, feel it in the cell, feel it on parole, feel it on probation, feel it when you free, totally free. Pardon me, till they pardon me, till they pardon we. Positivity from negativity, back to positivity. The podcast for the streets, helping you eat. We live by the code, we live what we speak. We revolutionize real love, honor, respect, loyalty, educating the masses, bringing unity. It's all or nothing. The podcast for you and me is Darc and Moody. We the voices of the community.
I hear voices right now. I can hear them just as plain as day.
Yeah. What up? This your boy Darc.
It's your boy Moody, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's Darc and Moody, all or nothing. You know what I mean? We still got Norman Gaines in the building. You remember him from, you know what I'm saying? You remember him from last week. You know what I mean? We have much more to talk about, so we back like we never left. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. And again, how we was ending the last week, shout out to La Isla Spanish Restaurant, 2779 Dixwell Avenue, Hamden, Connecticut, 06518. You know what I mean? Come get that good food. Catch us at, you probably seen us already at the Freddy. You know what I mean? Throwing beads and all kinds of stuff.
What else you do? I was eating at the Freddy, right?
Yeah, Moody was eating probably. Yeah, word up. And shout out to the world, man.
What I had on my tray? What I had when I was on the floor?
You probably had an empanada or something.
Shout out to the world.
To the world, 59 Welly Avenue, New Haven, Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? Come get that crazy drip. You know what I mean? The clothing, you know what I mean? We got to shoot our plugs. And shout out to Beyond TV. You know what I mean? You could catch Darc and Moody on Beyond TV. Your vision is our future. We get it in on all of these platforms, and come check us out at La Isla Spanish Restaurant, like we said. You know what I'm saying? Now, back to my brother.
Hold on. What was I eating on the thing? I can't remember.
I don't remember what you was eating, man. I don't remember. Word up. You was dancing salsa though, right? You was doing the salsa dancing?
Yeah, I was doing that, but I had some food. Cool. I had this big tray of food in my hand. I'm trying to figure out.
You probably was eating pork because you a pork eater.
Oh, not the
swine, bro. Swine for your mind, man. Yo, he not Muslim, man. He can eat the swine, man. That's for him. Yeah, he was running, chasing pigs, wrestling pigs down to the ground, ripping their arms off and all that.
I grew up on pig.
Yeah, you grew up on a pig?
Yeah, I grew up. That's done now.
It was where they're sucking on the pig feet with the nasty pig juices. With this pus, slime pus juice coming off down your cheeks.
But I take what's that joint? Pork skin and pig feet.
Yeah, make sure y'all, everybody who give Moody's all the pork you got, bacon.
Give me all of it.
Pepperoni.
Give me all of it.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Snout too.
The snout, the snout, the ears.
Keep the snout.
Pig intestines.
So I had so in that big thing, I had some pork, I had some rice in that big thing.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember. I had a lot of pork in that big thing.
Probably.
Y'all gave me all the pork because y'all got rid of the pork at the store. I mean, restaurant.
Yeah, you can have all that, man. Word up. Hey, yo, but boom. You know what I mean? So we back where we left off at last week, man.
He came to Connecticut. We told him that was a wrong move.
He came to CT. He was here for 3 months. 17-year-old young dude got involved in
thought he was on
a
vacation.
Case. But yeah, he thought he was changing his life, and he moved to Bridgeport. Yo, the brother said, "Yo, I'm going to Bridgeport." I came from. He went from one. He jumped out the frying pan into the fire.
Look, they told him he in New York. They're like, "Yo, son, we going to Connecticut." So he like, Connecticut? Oh, that's where them rich niggas at?
Yeah.
They say,
yeah, it was different.
Yeah.
Oh, you said, y'all got a lot of trees. That's what everybody said. Y'all got a lot of trees.
Because they killed all the trees in New York, except for Central Park. That's the only weird place you can find trees in the boroughs, except for Queens. They got trees.
You got trees up there in the Bronx.
Yeah,
You got parks.
a few parks. Yeah, but that's not the same.
Nah,
Like drive up the
when
road when you leave.
when I was driving
Yeah,
out here, there was nothing but trees. I was like,
nothing but tree. We in the woods in the boonies, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, but boom, you left NY and you came to Bridgeport.
yeah.
And you should have went to Stanford
That's what they say, but I didn't know anybody at Stanford.
or Greenwich. No, man. Stanford is
Greenwich, Stanford,
it's different though. It's like one pocket. Bridgeport, the whole Bridgeport is just fucked up. Yo,
we don't mean we say fucked up. We don't mean fucked up. We like it's hood.
No,
like,
this is what I'm saying.
Well,
This
let's
let's
up a little.
keep it real,
hood.
yo, because they gentrifying everything now.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is,
Bridgeport was
even watch Family Guy. You see Family Guy? You know what I'm talking about? You see it? Yo, Family Guy's
the writer is from a Family Guy is from Bridgeport or something. Like
he from somewhere I don't know, but he
he's from
said,
Bridgeport.
where we going? We're going to Connecticut. Where? He's like Bridgeport. He was like, oh, that's real messed up over there. Something like that. It's on Family Guy, so you know he didn't watch Family Guy when he came to Bridgeport. Yeah, so boom. All right, we having a little fun with it, but this shit is serious. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Let's get to the nitty-gritty of why you had this life sentence.
So, after I say a couple months of being here, I found myself back into the streets. There with a team, things happen.
Connecticut dudes,
yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember with some, my Cody and a couple other people. I was never one to really chill with too many people. So but whoever I rock with you, to the end. So they obviously something must have happened, and then they implicated us. So, where I'm from, at the time, because dudes nowadays they just loose lips, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether you did something or you didn't do it, if you go down for it, you just gotta hold it. Cause that's just what comes with the game. And they mentioned us, and we held in. Unfortunately, one. Two of us lost, one of us won. And obviously, when he left, he just left us for dead like everybody else did. And it was just me and my boy Nuno after that. So
Nuno, he's Hispanic.
Nah, Nuno. Shout out to my boy Manusha.
Nuno in the yard doing 100 clips.
Yeah.
For his startup.
Nuno Diesel.
Nuno cut up.
Yeah,
He
cut up.
He was doing the revolutions like when we was in there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah. He do bunny hops.
No, he cut up and he liked to do push-ups.
Yeah, he looked like he got the Batman suit on.
Yeah,
but that's how he's coping with letters, because we didn't have numbers. They gave us letters.
Yeah,
man.
What was the letter? The LIFE. What they said?
Life without the possibility of release.
17.
They gave us.
Well, you were 17.
I was 20 when they gave it to me though, because you got to wait 3 years, go to trial, all that. But
yeah,
definitely.
But let's keep it real. The 17-year-old.
That's who they sentenced.
They sentenced for 17.
That's
you was 20, but the 17-year-old was the one who came.
Even to this day, I'm still considered a juvenile defender.
Yeah, that's like with Michael Skakel, 16, 15.
Mm-hmm.
You consider a juvenile defendant?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was 2 weeks into my 17th birthday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so boom, my boy Nuno and the dude that beat trial went home. Y'all was cool with him at the time?
Fats beat trial. Nuno still locked up.
Yeah. I'm saying the dude that y'all was cool with.
Yeah. We were all, supposedly fans.
Yeah.
We out there get bread together, do everything together.
So he went home and he kind of forgot about cats. No letters, no nothing.
He didn't kind of forget. He forgot.
Yeah. I mean, no nothing ever.
Nothing. Not a dollar, nothing.
Yeah.
At first, he tried to keep the calls. Back then, they would, even though the calls were expensive, he had minutes on the phone.
Yeah.
But not minutes. No, he just paid the bill.
I get it. Yeah.
Back then,
They probably don't get it.
Oh yeah, because back then we had to collect calls when we first started the bid. So 26 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
And they was pressing 5 or 1.
Oh, I
Yeah, when you came in?
I came in 96.
96.
You don't remember?
Do you remember? You remember when you do the collect? You're like, oh, you got a collect call from Donald.
Yo, it's me, man. Yo,
Send that brand.
Yeah,
Yo, I
they
love you.
stopped
Yo, tell
that.
Tanisha.
No, they stopped
Yo,
that.
do you set the collect call? Nope. Nah, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I know they stopped it, but
yeah.
to get your message off by that time. Yeah. That was good. Like, yeah, you have a collect call from. Yo, make sure you come up here and see me tomorrow, man. Yo, word up. I need a VI. I need some.
Do you accept the call?
You don't even need it.
Nope.
Yeah. Word up. So boom, 17 years old, 20 when you got sentenced, and they gave you how many life sentences? Just one life without the possibility of parole?
Life without possibility of release plus 20 years concurrent.
So what's life to them?
Life is you will spend every single day of your life in jail. If I did 500 years.
So what's the plus 20 then?
The plus 20
so if you die, they got to give you another 20.
Plus 20 was just there because.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
And like, think about it. It's nonsense, right? In retrospect, if I'm giving you life, that means you're going to die in prison, and we're going to wake you up and give you another 20 after you dead. Because that's what it's like. Yo, with me, I got numbers. I got 100 years. 100 at the age of 24 I was when I got sentenced, I think. Something like that. I was 24 and I got 100 years, right? It's like I can't do 100 years.
No.
I can't do 100. So I'll be 124 when I got out.
Hold on. You bonded out, so we're gonna take away 2 years. That's how Connecticut is.
Oh yeah, you take the 2
years. You're like, I just did it. Look, you actually did 100. Yeah. You actually did 100. I'm 124. They were like, well, man, you bonded out. That ain't count.
It was 2 more.
Yeah. So I'd have been 126. I gotta be a vampire to do all this time that y'all trying to give me. With you, they said life. Whatever your life is, if you live to be 100 and whatever, 200, you still in.
Yeah.
Plus 20 on the wake up.
Plus 20.
If you died and woke back up, you gotta do another 20.
Yeah.
How it work?
To this day, I haven't even saw a timesheet.
Connecticut don't know how it works.
Yeah. How does it work?
It just doesn't. You're just done. Every day, you're waking up. And
they gave my cousin 900 years. You know that?
Keith? Yeah, I know that.
He didn't get life. They gave him 900 years. Like, why are you gonna do 900 years? Like, what?
They gave him 999.
999 years.
That's how it looks on my paper.
Yeah. Yo, he got 900.
Yeah, 99.
And 99 years.
I don't think I think they gave him the same thing.
No, they told him 999 years.
Because on the paper, like in the computer, when they compute it, all you see is a bunch of NAs, not applicable. Like, I'm not getting time. Like, I can't get level reduction. There's just certain things you're just never gonna get.
Yeah.
And then you got when they put time 999. When he puts whatever months, so you see years, months, and days, 999, 999, 999.
Yeah.
And then plus 20.
Yeah, so that's crazy. But now you free.
Yeah. So
so take me to the nitty gritty, man. Like, right, boom. So your man Fats, he out.
Yep. So Fats is out. He doesn't do anything.
No lawyers for you. No
lawyers. Nothing.
Money orders. No commissary. He's still alive.
Yeah.
As far
as I know. Well, he's back. He shouldn't know. He just came home.
Oh, so he came back.
Yeah.
He was back and forth kind of guy.
Yeah. Well, he kept trying to live that life, catch up, and he just kept catching up with him. But he also believe, in his karma. We've always been wanting to keep it real with each other. and then we don't keep it real with people, sooner or later, that dirt comes back on you. So you didn't get sentenced to it, but you're doing it. You're doing it
in increments,
right? Because you should have took care of, in my opinion, you should have took care of what you needed to take care of at the time you were supposed to take care of it. So now I'm home. It's my job to hold Nunu now and try to bring him home. And that's what I'm trying to do now. Even to this day, you have people telling me that I don't owe Nunu nothing, don't do nothing for him. And some of these people in jail.
Yeah.
I was like, what kind of people are y'all?
Yo, I want to say this, right? Technically, you don't owe nobody shit.
Technically, right.
In my opinion. However, being a person of principles and standards and how you would want somebody to do for you, if you were still in a situation and another person got out, it's understandable to be a stand-up guy and let me look out for this person and let me do this and that. Let me try to help this man come home or whatever. But like everybody in the game and in those streets make choices. Dudes made choices to be in them streets.
That's true.
You made a choice to be in the streets. Nunu made a choice to be in the streets. Fats made a choice to be in the streets. Whatever happens within that realm, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. You gotta take what comes with it. Death could come with it. Prison time could come with it. Somebody turning their back on you could come with it. Snitching could come with it. Loss of family members, friends,
everything.
Separation from family, even the ones that's here.
Yeah.
All of that shit comes with it. So you owe yourself to be loyal to you and your standards and your principles or whatever they are. And if those standards and principles mean, yo, I gotta do what I gotta do to look out for this guy because you feel like that, then that's what you do. However, you don't owe nobody shit, in my opinion. And it's just an opinion. How you feel about that?
You don't owe nobody nothing. Like you said, your character, that's your character. So your character, he was your man, he your man. So you're gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? What Darc is saying is you're free. You gotta live yours. But at the same time, I'm like you. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple of dudes like, yo, as long as I'm living, if I could make you smile, I might not got no bread, but shit, phone calls free. Nigga call me.
Yeah.
I put a smile on your face. So,
right. And now that phone call is free, niggas don't be reaching out
niggas don't call
like they used to. Like yo,
nigga told me he got girls.
When phone calls cost money, I was pressing 5 for dudes. You could call me. Yeah. Darc was pressing 5.
You used to cuss me out.
Moody G called me a few times.
You used to cuss me out.
When the phone calls wasn't free, I pressed 5. Whatever if the phone ring, I'm pressing 5. Like if I don't press 5, either I'm doing something, I'm with my lady, the kids, or I left the phone in the car, or like things like that happen.
I'm starting to understand. People don't understand that though.
Yeah.
Certain dudes don't understand that.
Yeah. You didn't understand that.
Who? Nah.
When you
I didn't call because I had 6 calls, and I had a lady and I was doing this.
Yeah.
Boom, and I got I was calling this person.
Yeah. Yeah. So if somebody don't press 5 or 1, I don't know what is it? 1 or 5?
It's 1.
It was 5 when I was locked up.
It's 1 now.
It's 1 now.
Man, you've been home 10 years. Man.
It was 5 when I came, but when I was in jail, it was 5.
It's 1 now.
It's
yo,
1.
Prices don't went up. Mac was $2 now.
Yeah. So yo, boom. If somebody don't press 1, maybe they didn't get that call. Like maybe they left their phone in the car. Maybe they left their phone in the room. Maybe they was asleep. Maybe they was having sex with their lady. Maybe it mad things.
Pick up. You have sex with the lady.
The phone pick up.
Pick up if you have sex with. Pick up.
Yeah, but if you can't hear the phone or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. You probably your bad rabbit bad. You, I don't know. I don't know. I don't got time to pick up the phone if I'm deep. You know what I'm saying? I I don't know what's up. I don't know. He did. My boy,
Yeah.
yeah, 2 Pump. My boy just told me he a 2 Pump Chuck.
Nah. 2 Pump Chuck.
Yeah,
Oh,
nah, he ain't no 2 Pump Chuck. I don't know, but I'm messing with it. Yo, so boom, your loyalty. Well, because that's what it's about. It's not about owing no. Don't feel like you owe somebody something.
No, that's
You owe it to yourself to be true to yourself. And if being true to yourself mean you want to look out for Nunu, look out for him, man. Do everything you can for him, but you don't owe him nothing.
right.
In my opinion. And people, if you feel differently after watching this, and you feel like somebody owes somebody, because I did a lot of time, and dudes turned their back on me. Like it's dudes that I looked out for. I had a lot of bread when I went in, and I left money with situations where people had my bread and didn't send me my shit. I feel like niggas owe me that because that's my shit. You know what I mean? But people was living their lives, man. Dudes was out there living their lives and got mad at me when I came home and I'm doing well and I don't look out. I don't have to look out because I had an opportunity to make sure I was good. I ain't had that.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
I remember that. I was
Word.
watching when they left me for that.
Yeah, so it's a few cats that I got a lot of love for that's locked up. Maurice Blackwell, Matrix.
Soprano.
I'm always be there for that cat. That's my guy.
Yeah, inshallah he comes home soon.
Inshallah. Corey Turner, Buku. That's my guy. Like I had instant connections with those dudes. Like anytime them dudes want to holler or whatever, I'm here for you. You know what I mean? And I like just now today, I just was emailing with Corey. He sent me a ill dua from not a dua, hadith from the Prophet. So that was deep, and it brings a brother back to realizing what's right, man, and what's real.
Yeah, I got an email.
Word. So if y'all and dudes that's watching this, they got this thing, Securus. They got the e-messages where you can message dudes that's in prison. If you're not pressing one or whatever the case may be, you still could. You texting these chicks and all that, you could take time out and text your man.
75 stamps.
That's it.
A day.
You could say peace, king, to the brother. Assalamu alaikum to the Muslims. Whatever it is that you want to say to the brothers, man, and just reach out, man.
You get the JPay app, you get the Secures app, you go on Secures, and you sign up for e-messaging.
Right. Boom. Bingo. Word up.
Bong.
Hey, bong, bong. Hey, yo, so, yeah, man, my brother, let's get to the nitty gritty, man. Tell the people like about the trials and the second trials and all that. Like they need to hear this shit. Right, hear what goes on.
Right now, for everybody who's watching, understand this. I got convicted twice, and the first time was given life without the possibility of release, and the second time was kind of forced to plead out on an Alfred plea to 30. I got convicted twice on evidence that alibied me out for the murders. The prosecution's evidence alibis me out for the murders. Right now, I'm going to court on June 26th, where the state's witness himself said he gave us the vehicle and the time, and then he was asked by the prosecutor himself, at what time did this occur? And he said the time was, he said he remembered the time because Wheel of Fortune was still on. He remembered vividly. And this was a brand new story, because from when I really got arrested for it, that's another story in itself. But it's not the story anymore.
Well, the Fortune came on at
7:30 p.m.
7:30 every night.
Every night since I was
Channel 8.
This hot in Bridgeport.
Yeah.
Bridgeport also get New York channels, and so in New York we was watching it on Channel 7, and we got the TV guy, we got the Nielsen ratings reports from that day, everything, and it showed that Wheel of Fortune aired at 7:30 p.m. The people were shot, and the police were already at the scene before 7:20 p.m. Police were at the scene at 7:20, so they got shot and killed before 7:20 p.m.
And how far was it from your location?
From The location from his house, and I'm not from Bridgeport, but I think they said it was at least 10 to 15 minutes away. So it's a distance to get there. And then he's saying I left there while it was still on. So this is after 7:30.
So you left the house after 7:30,
according to him.
according to him.
Right.
But before that, you was in the house prior to 7. You never left.
Because he said no. He said we were driving. He never said from where. Right. Remember, this is a new story.
Yeah.
He never says from where. Like, I don't know if you ever saw the movie Inception.
Mm-hmm.
Like when somebody dreams something up,
yeah,
they tell you never know the starting point. So that's where he starts the story. There's no starting point from the story. So he says we're driving to his house because we needed to learn how to use a standard. So I'm about to do a mission on a car that we can't even drive. So he's about to teach us this. He said in 5 minutes. And then we leave his crib after 7:30 p.m. People are already dead. Then on top of that, years later, during my second trial, because I was fortunate enough to get my case overturned, where
what evidence they used to overturn it?
They used.
I was studying it.
We had 2 alibi witnesses. So the mother of the state's witness and the daughter, well, the sister of the state's witness. So the mother and daughter came in and said they knew that I didn't commit that crime because that day the daughter was moving. So they knew I wasn't there. And my movement's always been limited because I was always one really, from New York days. You don't go to a hood where you haven't been invited. So you could tell pretty much where I'm going to be, because I'm always going to try to just be smart on how I do shit. And then if I do go somewhere, not too many people are going to know, but you're going to know where I was at, specifically when I'm just sitting there. So I wasn't there. So the mother comes through and brings forth that the evidence. And what we went on was the failure to investigate those alibi witnesses. Mm-hmm. So there was 2 ways to do it. When I was studying this, Las Palmas Atlas is always great. Right? I was studying this from an old case called Simon versus Stoughton. And it was talking about failure to investigate claims. And then as I started to learn more about it, I don't know why I was able to just grasp it after a while and start to read law at a high level. I mean, probably because my life was on the line. You figure you have an actual innocence claim, but the standard is too high. So instead of filing an actual innocence claim, I filed it under ineffective. Still a high burden, but I said ineffective assistance counsel for failure to investigate alibi witnesses. And then when me and my lawyer put it together, shout out to Arnold Lamore, by the way, we were able to convince the habeas court. And a lot of people don't win in the habeas, they get their appeals after. We was able to win in the habeas court and then went all the way to the Supreme Court, obviously back to Bridgeport Court. During that time, so I gave away the entire life bid. During that time, the state, our witnesses did something stupid. People in desperation, they need money. They burned their house down for insurance money. So now they're facing insurance charges, but they didn't get charged until my appeal was over. So for 2 years, they were charged with a crime. And they were suspected of a crime because the neighbors told right away. We believe it's still up in the air. My lawyer is certain because he didn't investigate thoroughly their financial records. The state allowed them to get the money, the insurance money. And then the moment the Connecticut Supreme Court told the prosecutor, you have to bring them back to trial. We're not overturning that conviction. We're not overturning the lower court's decision. He arrested them. So now my witnesses are being prosecuted by the same prosecutor in the same building while my trial is going on.
That's how Connecticut work.
So you know how that's gonna go, Darc. Mm-hmm. Just give us in. I don't care what you do, just give us in.
They won't go home. They lock them up.
And they didn't say anything. So I don't want people to, because, people start investigating the case, start thinking, oh, nah, they ain't do anything. But at the same time, they couldn't help. Because unfortunately, and that's where Nunu, because Nunu was on his habeas trial at the time. And they couldn't do nothing for Nunu either, because when you have a fraud case, even though you're not convicted, they could bring up those specific charges anytime you're on stand. So, normally say, have you any felony convictions? Yes. And that's the end of it, right? But when you got a fraud case, they say, haven't you been arrested for fraud? And they will have to say yes. So throughout his whole trial, his habeas trial, they were like, I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth. And then now I'm facing life again. And then one of the other ones, the dude with the car, he got arrested on attempted murder.
So that's when he decided.
No, we didn't. So now he about to get another bite at the apple to get another deal on the same case. So he about
got
to
a
get
deal already.
Of course he did.
He got a deal from the first time.
From
He
the
got
first
100
time.
years. Now he's going back for.
No, he wasn't my co-D.
No, he told.
Yeah, he was in jail at the time for drug charges. And they said the dummy took it to trial and lost.
Yeah.
Right? So you take a drug case to trial, you still facing 20. He was supposed to get 20.
Mm-hmm.
Let him go home. Put us in jail.
So now he about to start trial again. That same dude, he
This
catch
time
another charge.
This time for attempted murder.
Come on. What you got for us? We need to knock him.
Yeah, and then so now you got that. So then my lawyer's like, yo, we can't use the witnesses. I said, but you're forgetting plan B. I was like, what do you mean plan B? You always talking about this plan B. I said, plan B is shooters are shooting with their right hand. Oh, that's a theory that you always had in your head. I said, it's not just a theory that me and my trial lawyer, who I still, talk to, because he did what he could, at the time, but we didn't get the crime scene reconstructions. And that was his theory, that the shooter was shooting with his right hand. But we couldn't prove it at the time because he didn't have the scientific evidence. Fortunately for us in prison, people forget, not just thugs go to jail. We got doctors, lawyers, and I met, I don't remember Darc, I forgot his last name. Anyway, he was in there for killing his wife. His son is, I think, is like a famous rock star. He was in a rock band or something, rich dude. So everybody told me he was racist. He wasn't. As Doc said, Doc, he was a gynecologist. Doc, can you show me how to read an autopsy report, the medical exams report? He was like, sure. I'm still young. I'm thinking at the time, like 21, 22 years old. So I'm sitting there with life bed, learning how to read these things from doctor's reports from an actual doctor. I said, my lawyer had a theory. And then he showed me why the theory made sense. So people didn't know that I had a leg up on scientific evidence from an actual doctor. I had my own expert witness. I lived with him. You know what I mean? He was in my unit. And all I had to do was just disregard what everybody said about this dude being racist and knock on the door. And youth, the good thing about being so young is that you really don't care. So that also protected me from a lot of the biases and prejudices in prison, because you don't really care about the retaliation. You're just young. And the good thing about Connecticut, it ain't like New York and other places where you can only hang with your own people. So I was able to talk to them and really sit down. So anyway, I said, let's get the crime scene reconstructionist. My lawyer was afraid because you got to turn over the report to the lawyer. I was like, I don't care to the prosecutor. I said, I don't care about none of that. I'm the one doing the time anyway. Go get it. Turns out what Doc and Alexander Schwartz said was correct. The dudes were shooting with their right hand, and specifically right-handed street hold. I'm left-handed.
What's right-handed street hold?
Right-handed street hold. So this is your traditional hold when you're holding it this way, right?
So they're sideways.
So they're holding it sideways, right? So no matter what, whether I hold it like this with my left hand, like this, the bullets are still going to discharge a certain way.
They're going to shoot back this way.
Right. Because
they're going to kick it back.
So, but it's always going to be how they discharge to the right, no matter what. But if I did it like this, the barrel was down. You know, either way, barrel's up. You know, the chamber's up, right? So, and he also specifically said where they were at because how he measured the bullets. So they kind of like can almost tell when they're reconstructing the scene who, like, where they were positioned and how they were shooting. By the way, everything goes down when they put it all, piece it all together. He said they didn't do that in my case. He said the police just put it together and it was like, go get them. Hearsay witnesses. Oh, now he told us he did it. And these were suspects at the time. And they arrested us and gave us life. But at the time, Bridgeport was like one of the murder cows in Connecticut. It was one of the three hitters. New Haven, Bridgeport, Hartford. You know, and Bridgeport was getting it in. So people desperate. Capital, you know, just like body, capital. But now we got to take them off the streets, lock them up. And then, you know, they brought up the fact I was from New York, which I'm like, that's not evidence. You know what I'm saying? But
that's evidence to them. He ain't supposed to be here.
Life, especially you're not supposed to be here with a case. So you just came over here
with a serious case. Two bodies.
Two bodies. Up, and then, you know, they're locked, you know, so they locked us up for that. And then it never comes out to this day that the time that the dude said he gave us the car, alibied us out for the murder. So forget my alibis. That's why it took 30 years. I said, I gotta be smart. I said, there's too much at stake. I'm looking at my family, they can't go through another trial. I said, I can't go back to jail with another life bag. I was like a slap in the face to the prisoners who, you know, who are living through us now. We're living through me because, you know, I'm the freshman now. Like you, and I'm the one that they said couldn't get it done because it's a capital case.
Yeah.
You know?
And it happens.
And it happens.
Like, shout out to my boy DV. They overturned his case.
You know what I mean?
And he went back and they gave him 120 years again.
They did some more like bull, like after they gave you 30, they denied you the parole and you couldn't get back. It was a rule that you supposed to come back. We was able to come back every 2 years. He ain't had no date. I even asked my own caseworker. I said, yo, remember I was like, yo, so-and-so, when is his date? Because I had all the juvenile parole people and I had their dates. And he had no date. I was like, what is his date? Yeah. They're like, we don't know. Why is he the only one that don't got no date? That's why I said they wanted you to do that 30. They was like, yo, we want you to do we ain't giving you juvenile parole. We want you to do that 30.
But this was the crazy thing, right? So bringing that up, the states, right? The family of the victims really never showed up, right? And for whatever reason, they didn't show up. But they showed up to my parole hearing. The sister showed up at the hearing, you know, and I always respect the families. You know, I mean, street shit is always street shit. You know, we still respect the people like other people who get hurt that should have never gotten hurt. So, you know, as you think older, you know, you still kind of like, now you think, I'm still messed up that they lost their family members. So, you know, they go there and they don't really know the whole story either. So they're just going in to protect their family. When they tell this story to the court, to the board of pardons, which ironically was Carlton Giles, or the chairperson, he was there when I was shouting out last week's episode.
Mm-hmm.
He's there, and after the prosecutor goes in, like, no, he think he's slick. He's just always trying to get to the next level. He copped out because he knew he was gonna be up for parole because, you know, I wasn't getting in trouble at the time. You know, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing for years. You know, I became one of the mentors in the jail. You know, the torch was kind of being passed. So I went from like the young boy to the one people are seeking counsel from. It just happens, right? It's what happens when you spend 20-something years in jail. They were like, we're denying you parole and we're not giving you no new hearing date. And what's crazy, if everybody was to watch the video, I had an envelope in my hand. And I started, and the reason I had that envelope is because everything I'm telling you now was in that envelope. And I was like, you guys, you know, I knew they didn't have all the facts. Years later, I meet Alexander Talks. Big Tone put me on to him. And I was dealing with Alexander Talks before he was dealing with like dudes on a regular basis, like before he became that guy. when he was still part of the Connecticut Bail Fund. So I told him about the case. A little while after that, the commutation thing starts to come up because of COVID. And he says, yo, we need to file a commutation. I think that's the way you're going to be able to get home right now. Then he puts it in there. And I said, if we're going to put that in there, everything that's in this envelope, I want you to put that in there too. You know, and I filed it. And the crazy thing is, I filed also, even though at the time I didn't have it, during that time, I filed a federal habeas. I tried to bypass the system I almost was there. I just missed something. Because there's a way you can bypass for an actual innocence claim. We could just bypass the state. The judge even said the prosecutor didn't put everything on the record. That is true. But there's nothing that he could do about it because he lacks subject matter jurisdiction. Well, he lacks jurisdiction over the matter because I didn't exhaust my remedy. I met most of the prongs to bypass it. You miss one, you lose. That's just how the courts play. But I had that in there too. And on top of that, what was crazy about the whole situation, on the motion to dismiss, right, the prosecutor filed a motion to dismiss a lady called Joanne Sulik. In her motion, in black and white, in one of the subsections, when she's arguing, you know how they put the title of the subsection first, right? And then they put the body of whatever it is they feel you're going to lose. She put in there, even if the petitioner proves he's innocent, he is not entitled to relief.
Wow.
And we put that in there. So the parole board saw that this time now. So they got all the stuff that I had before, plus what the prosecutor is saying that. And you can tell when they accepted my petition like that, right? Which I was shocked because, we was like, I'm not admitting guilt, nothing that. And everyone's like, yo, man, just admit guilt, man. With your record, you can just go home. I said, I go home, but what does it do to Noonan? I said, you can't just bury somebody to go home. I said, I know what it is to wake up, to die in jail. Like, you're going to die in jail. And then you want me to bury my man just so I can make it out? Now, but you can change the story later. I said, that doesn't work, and you're an idiot. You know what I'm saying? And I will never do that. Even if it could work, I will never do that to somebody. So I stuck to my guns. Didn't do it. I don't care about none of that. They accepted it. Darryl Valentine went first. We saw what happened with him. They took all his time back, brought him home. Then I was the second. And you could tell by the way they questioned me, right? Because they kept asking me, how did you stay positive? Because they read every single line. And they told me that. They said, we read every single thing that you put in there. And I'm a special case. Another capital case in front of, who man ain't admitting any guilt. You're talking about bodies. It's not one murder, it's a couple.
Yeah. And what'd you say? How did you stay positive?
I said I had this one, I lost one of that. Always give credit to Allah. Like, without Allah, nothing happens. Even my habeas was so perfect. You never have a perfect day in court. It didn't, there's nothing, when I say, like, remember the hadith that says, whatever missed you would never hit you unless Allah willed it, and whatever hit you will never miss you unless Allah willed it. That's how it was that day. It was hit after hit after hit, and this dude just kept missing. Like, we're hitting everything, and this dude just keep missing. On top of that, he got racial with the judge. Because we had Spanish witnesses up there, and they were talking about, so like, why didn't you go to the police before? Because we don't go to the police, man. They be harassing us, and this is a big case, blah, blah, blah. They were like, but they believe your daughter. And he said something slick about Spanish people. The judge is Boricua. He said, it is a known fact.
The judge said that.
Yeah. Cut him off. He said, it is a known fact that people in the urban community, and I forgot how else he worded it, but because I was like so caught up in my head at the time when I'm listening to it, like, I can't believe like this just happened. I was like, you done pissed off the judge? I said, I'm out. Like you could feel Allah in the room.
Yeah.
So you done, bro. Like you could just. And I'm not saying that Allah is down here for all the Muslims, because we got the fatwa belief over here.
Yeah.
So you could just feel that something.
You could
bigger,
feel God's presence.
right? And you just know something is there to protect. And then when fast forwarding back to the conversation, Carlton Giles himself, said nominated him to be released. But they felt that since, for the most part, because I'm still so young too, like they did a lot of us, is I should do 18 months in the halfway house. I just left the halfway house not too long ago. And then, like I said, June 26th now, I was able to get a petition in court, hopefully on a motion to correct a legal sentence, where we're challenging the sentence itself, the sentencing procedure, because you technically can't challenge your conviction, saying you people illegally withheld evidence from the judge that you knew exonerated him, so y'all could sentence him to this 30, and y'all wasn't even supposed to take him back the second time.
Who did that? Connecticut?
Yeah.
Connecticut.
Yeah. Wicked, man. Wicked.
Yeah.
Word. So hopefully whoever listening, y'all heard these jewels, man. You got some good stuff from my boy Moody G. You know what I'm saying?
And
Aki.
if you're watching that today, it should be the 7 days of truth with proof.
Right on time.
You gonna be there?
I'm gonna try to be, definitely. I'm gonna try to be there.
Yeah. So you got that, or the wrongfully convicted, all the people that got done dirty. It's evidence to prove all this, and they're gonna show it to you.
Word.
Oh, and before when you hear these people talking about get rid of the commutations for the lifers, you gotta oppose that bill. And they're trying to bury Black and brown people. You can't let them bury Black and brown people. Every single one of us are doing good who were let out on that commutation. So you can see that we're beyond our past, whatever that past was. Because while I always say I was innocent, and there's no one think at all that I was an innocent kid. I was out there in the streets, and I was out there heavy. Your name just doesn't come up and stuff if you wasn't doing stuff. But that's the past. Like I said, I haven't committed a crime since 1996. I'm not a 17-year-old kid. I'm a 44-year-old man working, busting my ass to stay out of trouble. And most of them dudes in jail. Like,
Working feel good, huh?
It does.
Alhamdulillah. Hey, yo, so if you was an animal, man, what kind of animal would you be?
I always said I would be a tiger.
And why a tiger?
The tiger moves stealthily through everything, understands its neighborhood. It kind of like protects its hood. It protects its habitat. Because when something's wrong, it goes to investigate. And whenever it fixes whatever is wrong, however it does it, it moves on. And it does, and then, it has like a sense of peace that goes to some place where you could just see them just be at peace by themselves. But that's me. I'll help you, do what I can, but then I gotta go. And I gotta go find that peace, just that quiet time where you just, deep down inside, there's something like there's a beast in you, because we were raised in the jungle. So
Facts. Yeah, and where you see yourself at in 5 years, man? Do you see yourself doing something, or
Definitely.
What's the goals?
Well, the goal is always to try to help others. Like right now, as you see, part of script, Second Chance Reentry Initiative Program. Shout out to Brother Edward Andrews, doing great things for the community. He puts his heart out there every single time for the community. And I'm trying to help him uplift that program. When I'm supposed to be going to the school next week, inshallah, where we got Ashley Shaw and her students, people who, like us, at risk, who could use a positive influence, who've been through it, who understands the struggle. So I expect to be this, but with a bigger platform, so I can help out more people, inshallah.
Yeah, man. Well, so you heard it here first. Darc and Moody all or nothing. You know what I mean?
Freedom.
It's all about the freedom, man, the kids, the youth, staying out of trouble, maintaining a good aura, a good presence, man. And yo, we out. Word.